Hello there. Welcome to Elevate Update Part 4, Quarantine Edition Part 1, Special Easter Week Edition. We're glad you're here. With this quarantine, I've had a lot of time on my hands, and I've just been cooking a lot of different things. One of the nerdiest things about me is my love for cooking shows. I like to think I'm a good cook. So I've just been making stuff around the house. We can't really leave. I'll go pick up Stumpy's a few times, but for the most part, I'm here cooking. But what I don't do is I don't bake. I have currently there's 4 different Bluebell flavors in my freezer. We've been averaging 3 scoops a day, and I'm starting to feel the ramifications of that. Just have a consistent case of bubble gut. So today I wanted to try something I've never done before, and that's bake homemade cookies. But the catch is I don't have a recipe, and I've never baked homemade cookies before. So I wanted to record this. I want y'all to follow along with me. Yeah, let's get started. I'm gonna go get my ingredients right now. All right, success. Got my stuff. Early roadblock. I don't have any eggs. I don't know if eggs are an ingredient in cookies. I feel like they probably are. Yeah, but I'm out of eggs. So that's probably fine. We can figure it out. Let's figure it out. Alrighty, so let's get started. I got my flour. I got my measuring cup. I think 2 cups is probably good for what we're doing. So let's go. Oh, golly, already making a mess. All right, you gotta scrape that off. I didn't wash my hands. It's the middle of a pandemic, and I didn't wash my hands. Kids, do not try this at home. Let's go wash. You belong with me. You belong with me. Okay, I know I need sugar. So, got the sugar right here. We're just gonna not measure. We're just gonna dump. You can't have too much, right? Let's just. That looks good. And then I know you need some sort of baking powder. I don't know the difference between powder and soda. I was gonna choose soda, but we're out of soda, so gonna use some powder. And I don't. Yeah, probably just want a little bit of that. So let's grab a teaspoon. We'll do a teaspoon of this. Teaspoon of this. Right there. Throw it in there. Okay. Yeah, let's mix that up a little bit, see what happens. It's hot. It's hot. Okay, so I realized a main ingredient I forgot. Butter. This looks super dry. I need some butter. So I'm just gonna go, just doing a whole stick, just chopping it up. Should I melt it? Yeah, I'm gonna melt it. All right, we're good. Did you hear that popping? Uh-oh. Oh, I made a mess. Oh, there's butter everywhere. Dang it. Look how wild that looks. Let's dump it in. Wow. Oh, I love it. All right, let's mix that up. So I was hoping the butter would make it more wet. It didn't really do much. I feel like we're going to regret not having egg. That might be a big mistake. So I'm gonna make these peanut butter cookies. So I'm gonna get a spoon, and we're gonna throw some peanut butter in there. We use Jif in this household. Choosy moms choose Jif. So we're just gonna throw that in there. We'll do one more big scoop. That's good. And then I was thinking some brown sugar just to mix things up. This is like, oh, it's kind of stuck. Okay. I feel like I need some liquid. I'm gonna stir this up. Let's see what happens. Okay, this is actually starting to smell good, but you can see it still kind of looks. It doesn't look right. So I'm going to throw in I cut up another stick of butter. That's pretty trippy. So I'm just going to use my phone I didn't melt it this time because I made such a mess in the microwave before. So let's see if this helps. It's looking better. The more butter helped. I don't have eggs. I need something liquidy. I don't think water's going to help. So I stole Amber's last yogurt, vanilla yogurt. It might work like eggs. There's eggs in yogurt, right? I have no idea. What is yogurt made out of? I don't know. So I'm just going to throw some yogurt in there. This is going to be good. I have no idea how much. I don't want it to be too yogurty. That's disgusting. Okay, that'll be good. And then I'm a big salt guy, so throw a little bit of salt in there. I feel like you gotta have salt in cookies. I feel like I've seen that before. I accidentally got a little bit of pepper in there. I don't think that should be there. I don't know if this is normal, but as you can see, all the cookie dough is stuck to that. It actually looks kind of like cookie dough, which is oh, there we go. Yeah, just kind of plops. That kind of has a cookie dough vibe. All right, let's throw some chocolate chips in there. We'll call it a day. Oh wait, there's butter. I should have melted the butter. Oh well. Tasted it. The taste of peanut butter is heavy. I think I put too much peanut butter in. So I'm going to add just a little bit of syrup. That's more than I wanted, but it's something. And then I just I like surprises. I'm a big surprise guy, so I wanted to add just one goldfish. So then somebody will eat a cookie with a goldfish in it. It'll be great. One last mix, and then I'm going to put them on the sheet, I guess. All right, we're good to go. Look at that. Golly, it's beautiful. Alrighty, got my finished dough. The goldfish broke off into a bunch of pieces. So I was not planning on having a really cheesy cookie dough, but hopefully that isn't a big deal. So I got this, got the scooper, cookie sheet, oven's preheating. So I'm just gonna scoop these out, and then we'll see what happens. Look at the size of these cookies. They are going to be huge. And it actually looks like cookie dough, so I have high hopes. I put the oven on 375. I don't know if that's right. We'll find out. So we're just going to throw these in. I have no idea how long to put them in for. Like 20 minutes maybe? I don't know. So I'll keep looking at it. Stay tuned. Before we see the disastrous results of the cookies, I wanted to check in with you guys, talk about some things coming up this week, and then just talk about some things that God's just put on my heart. This past week, many of you know that we've been going through a reading plan for the past 7 days on the Bible app called Goliath Must Fall. It's a devotional based off of the story of David and Goliath that many of us know out of 1 Samuel in the Bible. So this devotional, this reading plan talked about how God is working against the giants in our life. So I want y'all to just think about, if you haven't already this week, think about some giants that you're facing in your own life. I know right now we're all facing the giant of isolation, maybe, or maybe it's boredom or just uncertainty. That's a giant in a lot of our lives. And I think a lot of us also have the giant of anxiety or feelings of worthlessness or depression or just stress. So I want you to think about yourself and your own personal giants. I remember the first time the story of David Goliath really meant something to me. I was about halfway through college, and I was struggling. I had wandered from the Lord a little bit. My grades were struggling. My friendships were suffering. I was in a hard place. I felt the giants of comparison and stress and inadequacy just creeping up in my life. Ultimately, it resulted in a season of just extreme sadness and feelings of loneliness. And then somebody had recommended this book, Goliath Must Fall, to me, and I read it, and it totally changed my perspective. When I used to read the story of David and Goliath in the Bible, I read it as a story of David and his courage and his ability to kill the giant himself. I read it like he had precise aim with a slingshot, like he picked up a big rock. He had the courage to face his giant, but man, after reading this book and reading the story again, that isn't really what it's about. The story of David and Goliath is about a battle that David didn't win, but about a battle that God won. One of my favorite parts of the story is Goliath. Right before they go to battle, Goliath is talking smack to David and taunting God and saying that he didn't have a chance. Oh, look, there's a boat. But Goliath just talking down to David, and David doesn't come back with some powerful words of his own. All he says is, "I come in the name of the Lord my God." He didn't fight the battle on his own. He didn't face his giant alone. He relied solely on God. He relied solely on God, and I had been trying for so long with my own battles to fight them alone. I didn't go to anyone to talk about them. I definitely didn't go to God. I was far from God at this time. But at that moment, when I finally realized that my battle wasn't meant to be fought by myself, that I was meant to give it to the Lord, it changed everything for me. My favorite tidbit from the reading plan this past week was a line a couple days ago. It said, "When you are vulnerable, Jesus is able." When you are vulnerable, Jesus is able. And I think when it comes to our giants, when it comes to the things that feel overpowering to us in our life, we're not always vulnerable about those things. We want to be strong. We want to tough it out. We want to handle it on our own. But man, I want to encourage y'all right where you are tonight, be vulnerable. Reach out to your small group. Be vulnerable with them about some giants you're facing. Be vulnerable to God through prayer. Because guys, you aren't able to conquer your giants. Jesus alone is. And it may feel like they're unconquerable, but Jesus has already won the battle. Goliath has already fallen. Jesus has already won. And how do I know that? Man, this is the perfect week to talk about our giants falling. This is Easter week, so we have some really exciting things coming up. This Friday is Good Friday. Today that we get to remember the price that Jesus paid for us. This is a day where we remember the sacrifice that was made on our behalf. So on Good Friday at 6 o'clock, we're going to have a special online service where Jeremy and Joey are going to talk all about Good Friday, the price that Jesus paid for us. It's going to be a really sweet time of worship and remembrance of the sacrifice that Jesus made. And then Easter Sunday, it's the day we remember the resurrection of Christ. It's the day that we remember that the battle is already won, that Goliath has already fallen. So Easter Sunday, man, stay with your family, stay close, enjoy that time with them, and just be sure to make the day all about remembering the resurrection of Jesus. We're going to have an online service that Sunday for y'all to tune in with. But man, this is a perfect week to remember that the giants that we're facing, whether they are the same as everybody else or an individual giant, that those things have already been conquered. I love you guys more than you know. Miss being with y'all. Jesus loves you. If you feel overwhelmed by one of your giants, please reach out to me. Reach out to your small group leader. But just know that the battle's already won. Jesus made a way. Love you guys. Okay, so I left them in for about 20 minutes, and guys, we might be onto something. These look, well, they're very soft. But, I mean, those are cookies. They look like cookies. So, pretty cool. So we'll let them dry, or not dry, we'll let them cool, and then we'll have a bite to see if they taste like cookies. Guys, this is a plate of cookies. Each one weighs about a pound. They smell, they just reek of peanut butter. There's so much peanut butter But overall, they look great. They're structurally, they're not fantastic. A little burned on the bottom. So I'm going to try to find the best one that's still kind of intact. This one's a little broken, but we're going to do it. So it looks like that in the middle. Super gooey. So I'm going to score it 1 to 10. It looks like a cookie. Let's see if it tastes like a cookie. I mean, it's a cookie, but there's peanut butter. There's way too much peanut butter. It's all over the roof of my mouth. You can still kind of taste the flour. I'm pretty sure yeah. It's not great. It's better, 100% better than I thought I could do. But, I mean, I feel like that bite was, yeah, it wasn't good. I'd give it a 3. Bummer.